And happy Friday. Welcome along to a fresh hour of CBS Sports HQ. Alongside Hakeem Dermish, I'm Poppy Miller. It's good to have you with us. Coming up, we'll look ahead to a big weekend in college football and in the NFL. But only one place to start tonight, and that is in Houston with Game 1 of the ALCS.
This is the show that'll put knowledge in your mind, money in your pocket. Our experts delivering their winning wagers just for you. Vegas insider Todd Furman, Sportsline analyst Tim Doyle on the way. Get your weekend started off right with us as we set the scene for Game 1 of the ALCS.
Hernandez lifts one to left center field. It is pulled in by Meadows. Here comes Santana. The Red Sox into the championship series.
We are surprising everybody but ourselves. We knew in spring training we had the team to make it this far, and here we are.
For the 5th straight year, the Houston Astros will play in the American League Championship Series.
These guys, they came in, they come to play. I love this team, and the city loves them. That's what counts.
It's not just who's hot, it's who gets the breaks. And when you look at what the Red Sox did and how they beat the Rays, that's a close series with 2 walk-offs. And the Astros, they've got a Empire State Building size chip on their shoulder. You never know in the postseason, and that's what makes this series so interesting.
Red Sox and Astros clashing in a rematch of the 2018 ALCS, a series in which Boston went on to win the World Series that year. There's more history than that. Alex Cora was Houston's bench coach the year prior in 2017 when the Astros beat the Red Sox in the division series, and it was Houston that went on to win the Fall Classic. Set it up and break it down. Welcome in former Major Leaguer Will Middlebrooks, who helped the Red Sox win the World Series in 2013. One of the big storylines is that Astros starter Lance McCullers Jr. left off of Houston's ALCS roster, dealing with forearm tightness. Jake Odorizzi replaces McCullers on the roster. Will, what does this mean for the Astros?
Well, it's a big void to fill. He's their best pitcher. He's their ace with Verlander out. With Greinke not being the same guy that he used to be, he's their ace. Now, Framber Valdez, Luis Garcia, those are really good arms. Let's not look too far past those guys. They can get it done, but they're no Lance McCullers. It definitely puts them in a hole here.
All right, well, you've laid out a couple of the keys to the game now, but it's time to put your wagering hat on, Will. We know that you've been riding with the Red Sox all postseason long. They are the underdog tonight. Are you going to keep following your heart, though, and take them to win Game 1?
I have to. I do. And to add to those keys, Chris Sale, he's got to get into the 4th inning. He does. We've seen his last couple starts where he's gone 1 inning here, 1 2/3 there. They can't lean on that bullpen that heavily. They can't. And that in the offense, they need to score early. Houston is a tough place to play on the road. They close that roof. It gets really loud there. And you need some run support in a game like this where you don't know what you're going to get from Chris Sale. Now, on the Houston side, it's a complete opposite. It's get into the Boston bullpen. We know how effective their bullpen was against Tampa Bay with Nick Pivetta going 4 2/3 in Game 1, another 4 innings in Game 3. He's going to have to throw some innings tonight, but if Chris Sale can get into the 4th and Pivetta can bridge that gap, maybe just 2 or 3 innings to the back end of the bullpen, it's going to help a lot. Now, Houston needs to win at least one of these 2 games at home because going to Fenway Park in the postseason as a road team, really tough thing to do.
Well, are you surprised that Alex Cora is going with Chris Sale in Game 1 over Nate Eovaldi, considering what happened against Tampa Bay in Sale's last start, gave up the grand slam, 5 runs in 1 inning. Then Tanner Houck has to come up and clean up the mess, and of course he did in that game as they went on to win.
Yeah, it's no secret. Boston has a void in starting pitching. There's a flaw in the rotation right now. They need Chris Sale. I think starting him Game 1 lets them see what they have in the series, and it gives Nate Eovaldi an extra day of rest so he can pitch on full rest. Their bullpen is 3 days into rest, so they feel good. They're fresh. If Nick Pivetta, like I said, comes in and has to throw 3 or 4 innings tonight, or Tanner Houck has to cover 2 or 3 innings tonight, that gives them time to be healthy by Game 3, Game 4, and I say healthy, I mean rested, because they're hoping Eovaldi can give them a solid 6-7 innings tomorrow night.
All right, well, let's get your best player prop for tonight's game. What have you got for us?
I can't be a total homer here. I have to give you a prop for the Astros here. I like Bregman. I like him to get a homer tonight at plus 333 against Chris Sale. He sees the bottom of his hand well. He's 4 for 12 off him with 4 walks and 2 homers. He thrives in the big moment. That crowd I was talking about is gonna feed him, fuel him there. And those Crawford boxes aren't too far away, about 310 feet. I could see him getting the head out on one of those fastballs and hitting it out of there.
All right, let's get your pick to win the pennant. Boston is the underdog to win the series at plus 130, with the Astros listed as the favorites at minus 150. You like the Red Sox in Game 1 tonight with Chris Sale on the bump. Do you like Boston to represent the American League in the World Series?
I do, and plus money is even better. Look, I call me Homer. I get it. I am. I get it. I can't help it. It's in my blood, all right? They drafted me and gave me an opportunity. But I also support it with facts. These two offenses, I give Houston a little lead with an edge on the offense. Starting pitching, they're both flawed. So this is going to come down to pitching in big games. That's how you win the postseason game, is pitching. It's going to come down to the bullpens. I give the edge to Boston with the bullpens. The last 2 weeks, they've really figured out an equation and a combination on the back end of the bullpen with Tanner Houck, like I said, Pivetta, Robles, and Whitlock locking it down. And don't be surprised to see Adam Ottavino in there. He didn't throw against Tampa. He's fresh. He's feeling good. And it's not someone Houston's probably planning for because they didn't see him against Tampa Bay last week. So I think he plays a big part of it as well. And then that bullpen carries him through. I'm gonna say Sox in 6.
Red Sox in 6 pays out at plus 500. That's some nice value. ALCS Game 1 tonight from Houston. Chris Sale, Framber Valdez, Will Middlebrooks breaking down for us here on CBS Sports HQ. Will, thanks.
Guys.
All right, here's a look back at Will's picks. He likes Boston in Game 1, plus 130. Totals 8.5 in this one. Likes Alex Bregman to hit a homer in this one at plus 333, and likes Boston in 6 games to represent the American League of the World Series. If Boston wins in 6 games, that pays out at plus 500.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.